me honestly, is this for real?
For today's video, I am with, actually, do you want to just introduce yourself and what you do and what you're about?
So my name's Scott Pearson. I run a company called Fast Fit Strong. It's a strength and conditioning company for cyclists. I've got a strength and conditioning background. I worked in professional sport, mainly rugby for 12 years, a couple of Premiership clubs. I worked at Stoke City Football Club for a little bit, and I've spent 3 and a bit years at British Cycling. So working with guys, a variety of different disciplines: sprint, road, mountain bike, able-bodied, Paralympic, male, female, old and young.
So you've got quite a vast experience.
Yeah.
And so obviously you've seen my video with Phil Burton. I had some kind of like strength kind of testing, which I've also done again with Scott, and I think we found that I'm not the strongest, especially like upper body, like planks, stuff like that. I'm just not that strong. So I wanted to kind of share stuff, just different exercises that Scott has kind of created like a profile for me to do to try and improve my strength. I mean, what would you say to people if they don't do any kind of gym work? How can that help improve cycling?
Twofold really. So the main or the most important one is it'll make you more robust as a rider, as an athlete, meaning less susceptible to becoming injured.
Yeah.
So over the longer term, it'll improve your riding because you get to ride more often. And then the obvious things that come with strength are improved ability to develop force. So the initial things will come out if you're doing hills or sprints or higher intensity efforts. You're better able to perform those, and you're better able to recover from those. This type of strength training program is what we've actually delivered to cyclists at British Cycling. As I said before, this similar program has been mainly with endurance guys, track endurance and road endurance, and then some of the cross-country mountain bikers that I work with. So
These thoughts all in my head, as my heart beats on my chest.
Right, so now we're going to do an exercise called a dead bug. It's a trunk exercise. It's what we call an anti-extension exercise. So the whole idea about this is to prevent you kind of tilting forwards like this. By doing that, that switches off a lot of your core exercises, switches off your glutes and overworks your lower back. So this is a great exercise for preventing lower back pain.
Alright, so lower back pressed in, hands up, knee driving into your foot round, and drop on the side.
Do you straighten it or just drop it a bit?
Yeah, just drop. So the better you get, so if you can do that, okay, your lower back isn't coming off the floor, which is doing a pretty good job, just extend it out slightly. Right. So the further you go out, in fact, the more weight, so if you about the longer your lever is of your leg.
Right, so now we're going to do an exercise called the dumbbell Romanian deadlift. Basically, it's bending forward, trying to hinge at the hip. We're trying to encourage the glutes to work, the hamstrings to work, without any kind of bending at your back or through your knees. So push your bum backwards, squeeze through your glutes, good. Push your bum backwards, squeeze through your glutes, good.
I hold my breath and watch you smoking.
That's it, so you want kind of just slightly outside your body, just slightly wider hands. That's it. And just press it out in front of you. And just keep it out there.
Oh, wow.
Time, yeah? That's it. Squeeze through your bum, squeeze through your tummy. That's it, now straight.
I don't feel well.
Put your heels on there. And you're going to hold this dumbbell in the heel of each hand by the top disc. And I want you to make sure your elbows are in and it's close to your chest. Right? What some people do is they kind of naturally hold it like this, which is fine at the moment, but when it gets heavier, it becomes a lot more difficult. So I think it's good practice just to kind of hold your hands kind of at 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that on the front. So from there, heels on there, toes turned slightly out. I'm going to start the movement just by bringing my weight backwards towards my heels, just by pushing my hips back ever so slightly. As soon as I feel the weight on my heels, I'm going to try and bend my knees and keep my knees out, nice and wide. Alright, very unladylike.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like that.
Nice and passive, kind of hold it a bit like a boxer.
Oh.
Alright? Nice and wide. Good. Really good. So you probably notice that when you're at the very bottom, as you start to come back up, your knees flicking. Avoid that like the plague. So when you're on there, really think about pushing your knees out and come back in.
Not so bad.
Makes me delirious.
So we've just done the exercises, and I kind of wanted just to chat really about it, because I feel like I mentioned this before, that when you go to a gym or you're kind of doing like gym work, I kind of used to go to the gym, not very often, but feel like I had to like push loads of heavy weights or be absolutely just killing myself in the gym. And I just wondered, because that, it felt difficult, but not in like a, what's the word?
Not in a physical way, but
not, but in like
a
a positioning, like, and how do you say that that's more important than just kind of going to the gym blind and just like?
Well, as I said at the start, like, the number one aim for this is to like prevent injury. So if you're going in and if you don't move correctly and you're doing like loads of reps and you're not moving correctly through it, you're just going to make yourself more open to getting injured, got a feeling of dysfunction. So what I'm about here is just making sure you do things correctly. So we struggled on the split squats at the start. So rather than kind of blindly carrying on with it, we thought it was a better idea to take it off, not do it today, and we'll build it up over time with some different variations. Similarly, on a couple of other exercises that we did, we regressed it a little bit to a more basic version, so we can pick up like the core technique of it, and then we'll layer it on again.
So what would be the best thing for me to do now? Then go and kind of do this once a week, or like with that set plan?
So this plans for a couple of times a week. So at the stage, if you've not done it for a while, beginners, it's about repetition. Right, we're not sort of diving in at the deep end and lifting the heaviest weights we can. It's grooving the movement patterns. Yeah. So you need to repeat it. Yeah. So it's like you said, dose response, isn't it? The more you do it, the better you get at it. A couple of times. With the light weights we're doing, you won't get any. First time you do it, you might get a little bit of stiffness and soreness, but after that, it won't affect your riding.
It'll just get used to it.
I've got a lot of clients and riders that come here, they do it and then go for a ride. So without any problems. So
I'll let you know how I get on. But like I said before, I will leave all Scott's details in the description box, and we'll probably do some future updates on how I'm getting on.
More than welcome.
Thank you very much. See you later. Whoop whoop. Thank you so much.
It's fine. Yeah.
Anyway, do it again.